Hello to you and welcome to Adelante Chicago. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bienvenidos. Well, it is the largest Latino youth conference in the country. It promotes civic engagement and highlights the potential of Latino youth. The United States Hispanic Leadership Institute will be hosting its 41st annual conference in person. This year's theme is Acelerando el Progreso Latino, Accelerating Latino Progress. And here to tell us all about it is one of my favorites, Dr. Juan Andrade. He is the president and co-founder of the United States Hispanic Leadership Institute, USHLI. Thank you for coming in. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about USHLI for folks that maybe don't know about it, which are very few, but you guys have been around for decades, and for years you've really tried to encourage civic engagement. How has that shifted now? This year, for example, when we've got so many Latinos getting involved in public office, I would imagine that generates a certain amount of, I don't know, boost, spark, and people wanting to get involved.
You bet. Back in 1983, we had 82,000 Latino registered voters in Chicago and had quite an impact in the election of Harold Washington as the first African-American mayor of the city. Today, we have over 300,000 registered to vote here in the city, and so it's certainly going to have a major impact in the mayoral election coming up here next, at the end of this month in February.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but you really try to focus on the kids. And so you have this youth conference. What types of things will they be learning? What will you talk to them about?
Civic engagement, oddly enough, and because, in fact, we have a forum on the power of the young Latino voters, because even in 2020, we saw their numbers increase and have an impact in elections across the country. In 2022, just last year in November, the impact that they had, tens of millions actually turned out to vote across the country. And it's exciting to see their involvement because their numbers are growing so fast. Our own population is about 19 to 20% across the country. But when you look at young people from 18 years of age and younger, they're more like 26, 27% of the national population. So their numbers are just growing in leaps and bounds, and they're learning how to exercise their power in the politically, and learning more and getting more involved in civic engagement.
And how important it is. The last time you and I spoke, we were talking about how there are so many more Latinas, so women Latinas getting into the world of politics. Is that continuing?
Absolutely, it sure is. In fact, here in Chicago, we have the first Hispanic woman elected to serve in the Congress of the United States. She's the first in the Midwest, and very young. And speaking of young, we have a congressman from Florida coming in for the first time. He's in office now, only 25 years of age. Wow. You know, the youngest member in the Congress today. And it's just amazing to see the role that young people they're not just growing up and waiting for their time. They're stepping up right now, and people have confidence and faith in them and are supporting them.
And I think it's so interesting how you help guide some of these young people who are getting into politics along. You brought up the mayoral race, and I do want to ask you about that because, we would have a Latino candidate in Jesus Chuy Garcia. We could potentially have the first Latino mayor in the city of Chicago, and one of the very few in the country. How are people sort of reacting to that, and what do you expect the Latino vote to be like here in Chicago?
Well, it's exciting to a lot of people to see that this could happen this year here in Chicago. And of course, Congressman Garcia was a close ally and lieutenant for Harold Washington when he was mayor, and Chuy was very much involved with him. And so he's been in the process here now a good 30, 40 years and has really come of age, and his name recognition is much higher than it ever was, and people have confidence in him, and he's enabled to get people excited and involved. And of course, building a political organization is essential here, and he has been doing that, but not just through his own election, but the election of other young people. You know, like Commissioner Alma Anaya was his chief of staff, and now she's a commissioner at Cook County. And Michael Rodriguez, who was on my staff, also went on, and now he's in city council in Chicago. So you see all these young people, and especially Latinas, coming up and getting more involved.
I think it's so interesting, though, because I had been talking to a couple of individuals who had said, yes, there is a large Latino community in Chicago. Unfortunately, they don't always turn out to vote. Do you think that's still the case?
No. When people analyze how many of us are voting, they count everybody. And everybody means including non-citizens who are old enough to vote.
Right. And
when you factor them out, you find that Latino voter turnout among registered voters, who are actually the only ones who can vote, it's much higher. That runs 60 to 70% voter turnout. But when you count everybody, those who could have voted, had they registered, had they been a citizen, well, the number drops considerably. But no, Hispanics are, you know, when you count just registered voters, our voter turnout is much higher than people realize.
Okay, I think it's so interesting. A lot of the work that USHLI has been doing. Again, this conference that's coming up is geared towards youth, but you do so much more than that. Explain to people who else will be coming to the conference in February, because you've got a lot of key speakers. And by the way, you've had people like Barack Obama speak at your conference, Henry Cisneros in the past, Dolores Huerta, and this year's really no different.
Right, it's true. And one more note about the Latino vote and elected officials. When we started, there was only 3 Hispanics elected to public office here in the city of Chicago. And today we have over 30 elected at all levels of government in the city of Chicago and Cook County. Wow. It's just extraordinary. At our conference, this is our first time that we're bringing the conference back in person. Because we got it in just under the wire. You might remember you were there in February.
With my little one who had just been born a few months earlier.
Exactly. February of 2020 was the last time we were live in person. And because people come from 30 to 40 states around the country, it's the only Hispanic National Conference held exclusively in the city of Chicago, because we like to bring the country here, and they can enjoy the city and visit and see what all we have to offer. Our conference, though, is that attraction. And today they're coming again from over 30 states, you know, because it's exciting. You feel the energy and the enthusiasm in the room when you have thousands of young people all together. And of course, as you were saying, we have Dolores Huerta, the matriarch of Latino civil rights in the country. 93 years old, and she's still out there, and she'll be with us.
She's very spunky, too.
She really is. You can't tell. I mean, you would never guess she's 93. And of course, as you mentioned, Henry Cisneros as well. And Robert Santos, the census director, who is still working on the 2020 census and updating the numbers and all of that, and planning for the 2030 census.
Already.
Already. You know, it takes a long time. But too, we have young people, young speakers. Mateo Magdaleno, who is one of the most nationally prominent motivational speakers. He'll be speaking to 1,500 high school students who are here wanting to go to college, and over 50 colleges are coming to recruit.
Amazing. Let's get the information up on the screen. If you want to get more about USHLI, there it is, ushli.org. Very easy. El Progreso Latino, acelerando el Progreso Latino. That is the theme of this year's conference. Thank you, Dr. Andrade. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.